we honor Dr. Jack Britt. Dr. Jack Britt, WKU class of 1966, made a name in his field as a leader of the world's top dairy science department, having served in leadership roles at 3 land-grant universities, Michigan State, North Carolina State, and most recently, the University of Tennessee, where he retired as executive vice president in 2007. But before becoming a professor, Jack was an outstanding student here at WKU. As a campus leader, president of his class, and co-founder of Alpha Gamma Rho, he earned a bachelor's degree in agriculture and biology and went on to continue his education at North Carolina State University, where he earned both a master's and doctoral degree in physiology. After retiring in 2007, this accomplished academic remained active as a consultant in animal agriculture and as a visionary for the dairy industry. The Britt hypothesis continues to be studied by graduate students worldwide, in addition to his 720 published technical articles and papers. Additionally, Dr. Britt received numerous awards and recognitions for his teaching, his service, and his research. Dr. Britt never forgot his roots, though, remaining supportive of his alma mater and establishing the Jack and Frances Britt Fund for Innovation and Learning at WKU in 2018. Please turn your attention to the video screen and meet our second 2020 Hall of Distinguished Alumni inductee, Dr. Jack Britt.
In a career spanning more than 5 decades, Jack Britt continues to distinguish himself in the fields of agriculture, research, and education, where he is lauded as a visionary and futurist.
What impresses me as much as anything is not what Jack has accomplished, but the people that he influenced, what they have accomplished. And I think that speaks very highly of him.
Growing up on a 400-acre dairy farm in Warren County, Jack and his identical twin brother Jenks, born 15 minutes earlier, learned the importance of hard work and discipline.
You have, a young man who came from a working farm, and I mean, that's a really hard-working farm, who always had the spirit and the determination to excel, to do his best. And that was just like a life mantra for him, and it continues to be.
I learned a lot on the farm. We worked on the farm. I was involved in 4-H and FFA and organizations. I got to know a lot of the agricultural teachers at Western while I was growing up on the farm by going to their farm for events. And so I was always closely connected to Western. And that's what inspired me to go there. I knew so many folks and friends there.
Jack and his brother Jenks attended what was then Western Kentucky State College as commuters. Once on the Hill, Jack flourished. He served in various campus leadership roles, including president of his senior class and co-founder of Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity, installed in 1966, the same year the college on the Hill became Western Kentucky University.
Kelly Thompson was president then, and he was a wonderful president. When I started Western, we had fewer than 10,000 students, so you knew a lot of people. And the ag campus was very close. Snell Hall was where we all hung out. We knew each other very well. Professor Billy Adams was my mentor. He was a wonderful, wonderful professor. He coached our dairy judging team. He helped us establish Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity, which was the first fraternity on campus to have a house.
He was pin number 10. He was one of the original 18 members who got us going. He was the second president. He was a leader from the day he was a freshman at Western.
Jack received a degree in agriculture and biology from WKU and planned to return to the farm, but instead entered graduate school at North Carolina State University on a full fellowship. He earned a master's degree in physiology with a minor in animal science and a doctorate in physiology with a minor in biochemistry in 1971. While there, he met and married his late wife, Frances. The couple raised 2 daughters, Heather and Stephanie. Even before he finished his degrees, he was offered a teaching position at Michigan State University.
It was an opportune time because there were a lot of really incredible chemical discoveries being made at that time. I published a couple of papers very early in my career that showed that we could control time of ovulation. and livestock. Those same techniques that we developed in 1973, 74, 75 are still being used today.
His proposal of the Britt hypothesis is certainly a clear manifestation of the fact that he was observing his animals carefully and critically, and he was being thoughtful. And he, from that and his studies that came out of that, he developed that hypothesis. And that's a perfect example of a great mind who's always thoughtful.
Jack returned to North Carolina State University in 1977, where he held various leadership positions as a professor, associate dean, and assistant director of the North Carolina Agricultural Research Service. In 1998, he joined the University of Tennessee system as vice president for agriculture and retired in 2007 as executive vice president. He led the development of the UT System Strategic Plan, a plan still used today. Jack continues to give back to the profession that gave so much to him. He consults worldwide on animal agriculture and as a visionary for the dairy industry.
I have been, you might say, a change agent for the good to improve the performance of the units that I've led and to make people feel good about what we're doing and to collaborate and work harder.
Dr. Britt has authored 720 technical articles and papers in a variety of journals. He's received numerous awards and recognition for his research and teaching and continues to support WKU, establishing the Jack and Frances Britt Fund for Innovation and Learning in 2018. And in 2020, he was named the Howard Bailey Distinguished Service Award winner at WKU.
It's probably the most significant honor that I could ever receive because it's coming from my home university. It's coming from my peers and colleagues. And so to me, it says you had an impact and we want people to remember you for what you did with Western and while you were at Western and after you left Western.
2020 WKU Hall of Distinguished Alumni inductee, Dr. Jack Britt.
Mr. President, thank you for that wonderful phone call that I received about 2 months ago informing me about this award. And also thank you for the wonderful conversation that followed over several minutes about your career and my career and particularly about what's so good about Western. That was a real pleasure. I had another phone call 2 days ago from Lee Robertson. I've known Lee for 70 years. When Lee graduated from Western Kentucky State College, he came to Park City High School to be the coach of all the athletic programs. And he did something novel. He created a first grade basketball team that would play at halftime between the varsity games. We had two games. We had one home game and one away game. I don't remember who won what, but I sure remember Lee's influence on me and many other folks. And so, Lee, if you're watching the streaming, I sure enjoyed the phone call and the conversation 2 days ago. Dee and Travis, I'm glad to be a classmate of your loved one and of you, and thank you for also being a Western alumnus. Dr. McAdoo, thank you for your team and what you've done in helping us prepare for this. And I'm disappointed that Jenny Hensley couldn't be here today. She's one who I have worked with quite a lot. But just 2 or 3 days ago, she happened to be accidentally exposed to a COVID positive patient, and she can't be here today. So Jenny, if you're watching, thank you very much. And to all the guests that are here today, family and friends, and those who made comments that were on the videos, we really appreciate your support. You're driving a long distance, coming a long way. My daughter came from California, So thank you for being here today in this unusual circumstance that we have. I was a student at two Westerns. I enrolled at Western Kentucky State College in 1962, and 4 years later graduated from Western Kentucky University, which became a university in the second semester of my senior year. So I was in the first graduating class of Western Kentucky University. And so that was quite an honor. My tuition at Western, my first semester, was $65. And I had a $50 scholarship. And our farm was 3.5 miles from campus. So I was a commuter student for all of those years, except living in the fraternity house my last year. So Western was not only convenient and affordable, it also gave me a great opportunity to get a good education and to be engaged in so many extracurricular activities that gave me skills and talents that you don't get in the classroom. So I appreciate the kind of education and training and opportunity I had at Western. Professor Billy Adams in agriculture was a mentor, great leader, really involved and engaged with students. He helped us succeed and be successful and grow and learn about what the real world was like. Dr. Don Bailey in biology, who taught physiology, was an exemplary teacher and leader, and I can still remember Dr. Bailey's classes and what I learned and how I became excited, really, about physiology. Western gave me really a real well-rounded education and the background to have a successful career. And I'm so happy that I went to Western Kentucky University and still am proud of being a graduate of Western Kentucky University. Thank all of you for honoring me today and for coming. And thanks especially to Franklin Bank and Trust for sponsoring this. My mom lives in Franklin. I'm going to see her this afternoon. So thank you very much.
Finally today,